Welcome to this Tutor to You Criminology video for Level 3 Applied Criminology. In this video we're going to focus on white collar crime. White collar crime is a broad term used to describe crimes that are committed for financial gain, either by individuals, companies or groups of organised criminals. White collar crime can be categorised as being occupational, that is, it is committed by an individual in the process of their employment; corporate, committed by individuals on behalf of a company; or organised, criminal organisations that commit crimes for a financial motive but use non-violent means, for example organised technological or cyber crimes. White collar offenders rarely use physical violence against their victims, targeting their finances instead through means such as fraud, embezzlement and scams, and it is one of the most common forms of crime in England and Wales. In this video we're going to examine the victims of white collar crime, who commits white collar crime, and the level of public awareness, before linking to some examples of white collar crimes. There is no typical victim profile for white collar crime, as individuals are often targeted based upon the offender spotting an opportunity to commit crime. Victims of occupational crimes are usually big businesses and their customers, whilst corporate crime can target customers or wider society, for example environmental or green crimes that are committed by large corporations. Organised white collar crimes often use technology to target individuals whose personal details they can access through the internet, and as such anybody who uses the internet can fall victim to phishing scams or hacking from organised white collar criminals. Traditionally, white collar crime is defined as being crime committed by those in higher status positions. It was crime committed by white collar workers. Middle and upper class offenders are usually linked to occupational and corporate white collar crimes, as they have the opportunity, access and means to commit these crimes, for example fraud or other financial scams. Sociologists such as Sutherland argue that often corporate and occupational crimes are part of a culture of criminal activity that is motivated by trying to get ahead and make financial gains either for themselves or the company that they represent. Organised crime, on the other hand, is less focused on white collar workers, with technological crimes often being committed by highly organised gangs based overseas, who target unsuspecting investors and ordinary people who use the internet. The level of awareness of white collar crime is not as high as other forms of crime, despite fraud accounting for nearly 50% of all crime in England and Wales. One reason for this is that the media rarely focuses on financial crimes, as those committing the crimes have higher status in society. For example, the awarding of contracts during the COVID-19 pandemic to friends and acquaintances of government ministers, which was in breach of ministerial regulations, received less coverage than protests against lockdown or gatherings of individuals who breached COVID-19 rules. Furthermore, those who commit white collar crimes often have the power and finances to cover up their crimes, as well as negotiate fines rather than custodial sentences for their actions. Finally, the complexity of many white collar crimes means that police are often unable to secure convictions or detect crimes, which leads to a dark figure of white collar crime. One type of white collar crime is corporate crime, and there are many examples of how corporations have broken the law yet faced minimal punishment. Water companies in the UK have been dumping waste into rivers and seas that exceed the agreed standards throughout 2021 and 2022, and rather than face fines or imprisonment, company executives were able to use their power to lobby the government to change the legal limits, and this legitimised their actions. A further example of corporate crime is the practice of selling payment protection insurance to customers who took out loans and other financial products in the early 21st century. This was deemed to be illegal, But rather than face prosecution, many financial institutions were instead forced to repay money collected, with many citing bankruptcy to avoid repaying their customers. That concludes this Tutor to You Level 3 Applied Criminology video on white collar crimes. Thanks for watching.